Hello and welcome to the second ever episode of the Hard Reset Show. I'm your host Tyler, and joining me are two contributors to the site. First up, we have Julian,
Hello.
and we have the Chocolate Wonder, the British hunk, Nathan Hambridge.
Good evening.
I could eat him all up.
Ow! Like some chocolate. Nom. So first up, like every week, we're gonna tell you what games we're playing. So Julian, what have you been playing?
Um, I've actually been getting into Oblivion.
How's that been going?
It's been going pretty legit. When I actually first got the game, I really didn't like the style of it, but I don't know. I guess as time gone on, I just jumped back into it, and I'm actually in love. I've been playing it nonstop all day.
Yeah, I've never played any of the Elder Scrolls games, but I do have Fallout New Vegas, and really haven't played that much. I got an hour in and haven't touched it since. Oh
Yeah,
well.
it's one of those games that I'll be honest, the series isn't really for everyone. If you're expecting a game that's like Kingdoms Amalur Reckoning or any kind of action RPG, that's not what you're getting. It's all about the adventure, building your character and exploring. So if that's anyone's kind of game, it's a pretty old game. Those of you who played Skyrim should know what I mean. So
Yeah, definitely. Nathan, what have you been playing?
Pokemon Channel.
And I heard
Pokemon
you
Channel.
love that game. You simply adore it.
No, it's the bane of my existence
Then why are you playing it?
because you're making me play it. You're
I think
demanding I play it for your stupid site.
our
hey,
stupid
you're,
site. Come
you're
on,
doing
Nathan.
it yourself.
You know
Nope.
us three. We're all buddies with the video game site,
God,
right,
shut
Julian?
up! Just shut up!
No one's forcing you to play except yourself, your own hands and your brain.
Well, my brain is a
Body is
dick.
ready, Nathan.
My brain is a joystick.
So, they've been playing some good games. Well, Julian's been playing a good game. Nathan has been playing a not so good game. I've I recently bought Nano Assault, so I've been playing that a little bit.
How
And by
you
a
like
little
that?
bit, I mean I played one level, so I didn't really get that far into it. Uh, I enjoyed it. I think I definitely got my $8 worth.
You
So I
bought it
thought
for
that was
$8? Really? From where?
Toys R Us. They had it on clearance for 10, and then there was a 20% off on all clearance items, so I got it for eight
God
bucks.
damn it! I knew I should have waited.
Yeah, that was quite the good deal. So I said, what the hell? I got that, and I got Brutal Legend. Each were $8. So definitely pumped about playing both of those games in the near future. Uh, Also, I've been just playing just pretty much more Hot Shots Golf World Invitational for the Vita. I haven't really been playing too much games. Just other than my Let's Plays, I was playing Pokemon Green in Japanese, which was an experience so far because I don't know any Japanese, so that was kind of difficult just getting to Professor Oak, you know. But other than that, just been playing the little Nano Assault here and there. And first game we want to talk about is Sonic 4 Episode 2. Nathan, what's your thoughts on that game?
It looks good. So it just looks like Sonic 4 Episode 1, but with tails to me. But I'm not. That's what you kind of expect for it to have the same name, pretty much. So
Yeah,
yeah,
the game it looks good, but I mean it looks good compared to Episode 1, but like when the first episode sucks that much, is that saying much?
yeah,
Like, are
not
people just
really.
gonna give it a pass if it's like all right, just because it's a lot better than the shittiness that was Episode 1? Because I think that's gonna happen. I think the Sonic fans that are already nutcases, they're gonna be like, it was really good, guys. It was great. It's the best thing since Sonic Unleashed, guys. Come on.
Best,
No, it's all about that Sonic 2006.
yeah,
About that
best games in Sonic 06. Whoa, whoa.
Yeah, man. Like the first Sonic Episode 1 was so bad that like
I
99% of Sonic fans couldn't even like defend
I
that.
did. I couldn't even beat it. I literally made it past the second zone, and ever since then I haven't touched it.
Which one's the
It just
second zone? Is that the casino
uh
one?
yeah, the casino place, which I
Yeah,
hate
I get
all the
through.
casino stages.
I get to like the card one, where you're on the fucking cards, and then it's just like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I skipped around the last two zones and just I could not see the appeal of it. I really could not. The first zone was okay-ish. It was doable, but the rest of it was just unbearable.
It's just a blatant rip-off of old Sonic levels. The first area is clearly supposed to be like Green Hill Zone.
I
Uh,
just there's so much hype behind it that I just me personally I've developed some stuff before and I'll say if I was ever hyping something as much I would not release it like that and expect people to pay full price for it and not even try to fix it. Like
You
Sonic
you
literally
wouldn't
could
you Julian, you wouldn't even release it Mario Party Celebration.
shut the fuck up. It's not like I was charging for that. Did you hear the last part where I was like and I wouldn't charge for it?
Well, I wanted to say that before, but you know it's hard to interrupt you since you're a never-ending
Exactly. I did that on
story of
purpose
words.
because I knew one of you two was gonna say something about, hey, but what about? I was like, nope, not gonna
what
take that.
about GT the game, huh? Whatever happened to that?
Yeah, what happened to
You
that?
know what? That one I can't explain. I just can't explain ET the game. It's horrible. But I feel like Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1 is the Sonic equivalent of ET the game.
I don't know. I wouldn't get that far, but it is pretty bad. Are you guys gonna be buying episode 2?
Probably.
Potentially yes.
I don't
I
think
didn't
I
even
am.
realize I didn't realize it was coming out in May. I just feel like with that much money, I could do a lot better with it. It's just after the disappointment that episode 4 1 was, and just looking at the content of this one, it just looks meh to me. I don't see anything that makes me go, wow, I have to get that. It looks freaking awesome,
The,
like
the,
the way I thought episode 1 was.
the Metal Sonic storyline. You guys want to play as Metal Sonic, right?
Yeah, what kind of shit is that? If I'm correct, you can play as Metal Sonic in episode 1, right? Is that like what this whole add-on is, Nathan?
Uh,
Oh, I thought it was
uh,
Metal Sonic in episode. I thought he had his own storyline.
Is it if you bought episode 1, you could get Metal Sonic in 2? There's
I don't
something
know.
where
I
the two
just I
games.
just heard there's something to do with Metal Sonic. That's all I really know.
Julian, you have something to say?
no, just I pretty much already said what I needed to say. There's really not much to say about it. Just another side-scrolling Sonic game that I'm actually pretty sure is probably going to disappoint people. So I'm not putting much faith into it.
Okay, I looked it up. It says if you own both Sonic 4 episodes, you will get lock-on technology where you can play as Metal Sonic. Plus, purchasing both episodes will give you 4 exclusive levels. So they make this shitty game. They've publicly said, you know, it's kind of shit. We had to rework the entire gameplay. And they're like, but if you buy both, so they're pretty much just trying to hawk their shitty game
Yeah,
again.
hang on. Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode Metal is an additional episode of Sonic the Hedgehog 4, available for free to those who have purchased both Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1, as well as the upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2 on the same device. The extra
I really, I'm sorry, I just got really irritated because I just don't understand why the fuck would you release one for Metal Sonic? What about Knuckles? Wasn't Knuckles supposed to be in
Well,
episode?
the extra episode ties together the events of Sonic CD to those of Sonic 4, beginning with Metal Sonic's revival, because he's like the main villain in like Sonic in episode 2, so it's connecting them two together. So fucking, why the fuck is Metal
Like
Sonic alive?
there's not even really a story to them. What the fuck is there to connect?
Seriously, what the
In the
fuck?
original Sonic the Hedgehog 4, you were just thrown in there. You literally there's no story to it. You just knew, okay, I gotta kick Eggman's ass again. That was it. There was no story.
In
That
Sonic CD, didn't like Metal Sonic go around ruining the world or some shit and kidnap
yeah.
Amy?
See, Sonic CD had a story.
Well,
Sonic the
maybe they're
Hedgehog
gonna have a
4 does
story in
not.
episode 2. What do we really know about episode 2, honestly?
Probably gonna
There's like
suck.
a ice stage.
Exactly, we don't know fuck all. It might have an actual story this time, and if it does, it might just mean that it's connecting Sonic CD to this game, to Episode 2, and Episode 1's just some failed attempt.
Yeah, so it's so stupid. Like, if this is so essential to the story, first off, Sonic games shouldn't have a storyline. Just make it more like Mario, where you get like a quick setup and then just play some cool stages. That's what people want. They don't want some shitty story with Amy Rose and there's a Cream the bunny. What?
Oh
Come
God,
on.
Cream the rabbit is the one character in the whole series I literally want to die. I want her to get her head ripped off and to burn in a fire because she's the most just unnecessary character behind Silver and all these other retarded Sonic spin-off characters that really has served no purpose except to sit there and bitch and moan.
But seriously, this whole thing is just they're pretty much fucking consumers up the ass because
Just one more thing about it. It's Sonic 4 levels, but with Metal Sonic. All the levels are from Splash Hill Zone was the first level from Sonic 4 Episode 1, right?
yeah, so it's pretty much saying you get to play Sonic 4 Episode 1, but with Metal Sonic. Same shitty physics, but we got Metal Sonic in it.
Oh, but there's holy shit, there are cutscenes. It has a storyline. What the fuck?
Seriously, who would want that? Who wants to revisit Sonic 4 Episode 1?
Well, it's got a storyline. That's cool, right?
See, oh
Right?
man, this game's just terrible. I like how it's saying they're like playing that it's lock on, like the old Sonic
what's
2
that
and
bit?
Knuckles or
Oh,
Sonic 3. Just
the
ridiculous.
The extra episode is the result of Episode 2 detecting Episode 1 on the same console, being lock-on content not unlike Sonic and Knuckles onto Sonic the Hedgehog 3, with Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Yeah, this is just pissing me off, to be honest. Like, first off, going episodic was the dumbest thing they could have possibly done. Because pretty much they're just ripping people off twice. How much are these games? Are they like 1,600 points? Are they $20 or what are they?
I think they're like 15.
I'm British, so different.
So pretty much you're charging in total $30 on this.
Different concepts of currency.
And it's just ridiculous. I mean, if they really wanted to do Sonic 4 and do it right, they would have had a console release, and they would have just released a half-assed first episode. Like, how do you release that in good mental state? Come on.
Sonic Team doesn't understand the concept of good.
Well, they used to, but everybody decent has left.
Well, it used to, and then fucking. What would you? It's going off topic a little bit. What would you say is the last good Sonic game?
Are we not counting? I don't even know if I called Generations is good, kind of.
Well,
but before that,
let's put it this way: where did you think the series started going to shit?
I'd say right after the adventure games, which are overrated.
Heroes.
I don't even think the adventure games are that great. I mean, they're so overrated, in my opinion.
Well, I was playing the DX version of Sonic Adventure 1, and I glitched through about everything I could possibly glitch through.
Those games have so much glitches. It's almost broken. Like, unless you have like very nostalgia view of those games, you can't play them. Like Sonic or like Mario 64, I can beat that up right now on the N64 and have a good time playing it. But not Sonic Adventure. It's not that good of a game.
I glitched through about 3 different walls. I glitched through the floor. How the fuck do you glitch through the floor?
Yeah, I've got over Sonic Adventure. It's once I start moving, it's unplayable for me because I'm like flying all over the place, and I'm like, how can people still remember this as the best Sonic game? I don't see it.
Nostalgia.
Yeah. I've gotten into so many debates on forums where people where I just say, Sonic Adventure, not that good. And they get so like pissed off that I don't find Sonic Adventure to be this fantastic game.
It's like the fucking Ocarina of Time of fucking Sonic.
Oh gosh, don't even remind me about that game.
Sonic. And another person recently I was on a forum and they said that Sonic Unleashed was a well-designed game. That game has just as many glitches. They're not well designed. Like
I didn't even get halfway into Sonic Unleashed. I got to the nighttime stages where you're the fucking werewolf hedgehog hybrid
the
bullshit.
Werehog.
No, it's not a that doesn't exist. That is not a real thing. You can't go around making up animal species like it's normal. It's a werewolf hedgehog hybrid bullshit. And I just I didn't give a shit anymore. It's just like, what am I doing? Why am I playing this?
Yeah, seriously, you can say like, okay, Sonic, straight up, all we want is to press right. We want to jump occasionally, and we just want to finish the game easily.
That doesn't work.
Yes, that is all there is to Sonic games.
No, it doesn't work.
It does.
I've tried it. You have to press down.
Not if you play it correctly. I will tell you that. If you go the right route, no down.
Oh,
No down.
I don't understand all this multiple route bullshit as well. It's just a way of getting me confused.
Yeah, I've never been able to like recognize all the routes, but it's nice to have to add replay. But lately the levels haven't even been good enough to replay.
Well,
So.
I understand the whole it adds replayability because every time you play you can take a different route, but I just don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me.
Whenever I do take different routes, it's usually because I missed the jump.
Yeah, once you find a route where you're good with, you tend to just stick to that route and that's it.
I honestly think that Sonic's just been passed on. I think the platforming genre as a whole has passed by Sonic.
Pretty much.
Because,
He's too old now. He's in his
I mean,
old
his whole game was based on a gimmick of going really fucking fast.
and he can't do
And
that anymore.
I mean, you can still get people to like it sort of, but it's not going to innovate. I mean, think of the original Sonic. They weren't really innovative platformers. They just went really fast, and that was enough to satisfy gamers in the 90s. But
Right, hang on. Have a look at this. Hang on. Copy. This is the map of Act 1 of Green Hill Zone.
from the original Sonic,
Yes.
holy crap, it's a
Look
lot
at-
bigger than.
Damn.
There must be at least 6 different paths you can take there. At least. You don't need that many paths.
You really don't. I mean, a lot of people complain about games being linear, but that's almost like a Metroidvania type map layout.
No, I'd say it's worse because Metroidvania has some substance to where you're going because there's certain areas that you can't get to unless you have a certain item. But this
Looking
is
at
just,
this map makes me feel nostalgic. Just had to throw that in there.
but it's confusing me. It makes my head hurt.
Don't be a derp now.
It's just there's too much there though. It just makes my
Too much to process.
exactly.
Do you guys think there will be an episode 3?
No, they actually said they weren't going to do it.
Did they?
I just saw an
thought
interview recently where he was non-committal on that. He was one of the developers was like, it could happen.
I think they're gonna and it's gonna have Knuckles in because they want money. So,
I don't know. I feel like if they really wanted money, they could have milked Sonic Generations with DLC to death at this point, and they still haven't done it.
that's because
Oh yeah, this is what they said. At PAX East, a Sega representative said that Sonic 2, Episode 2 does not end the Sonic 4 story, saying if the episodes do well in sales, Episode 3 will likely be developed. So we're pretty much in for a lot more fucking episodes if they keep selling.
right?
So,
The problem with doing Generations DLC is that they'd have to actually design it in 3D, and they don't give a shit. They're fine with a 2.5D bull. By the way, 2.5D is bullshit. I just wanted to bring that up. I don't like 2.5D. It's useless. What is the fucking point?
I mean, some games look good with it, like Kirby 64. I thought. And,
Me personally, I love 2.5D.
I don't understand the point of it. If it's 2D, it's 2D. If it's 3D, it's 3D. Don't go 0.5ing shit.
it's just the appeal of having 3D models in a 2D space. People feel like it has a lot more detail to it, and they can also use a lot more quote unquote fancy shader and lighting effects. So it could,
And
for
it's a lot
example,
easier for. Oh, go on.
okay. Oh, sorry. And like one of the best examples of that would be, the puzzle platformer called Trine 1 and 2, and those are really good examples of what they can do with 2.5D.
Yeah, and it's definitely easier because they don't have to draw each individual sprite. So like, it's easier for the developer just to make a polygon and have that move
I
instead
guess.
of. But I mean, I think we should have more straight up just 2D games because I think they're really underutilized. And if you do like a good classic 2D puzzler platformer, check out Fez for the Xbox Live.
I would, but I have a PS3. That game looks awesome, and I can't play it because I don't have the fucking console.
Well, I know they are looking into getting it on other platforms, so
Good.
hopefully.
Fucking better do. I'm gonna bitch
I
slap.
think it has a timed exclusivity window, but I did read somewhere they said more platforms are being considered, so hopefully it does happen. Yeah, because the game looks just great.
Yeah, it looks amazing. But yeah, Xbox only. I do not possess an Xbox.
Oh,
Well, I've had one in the past, and in the month I had it, I played on it once for about 10 minutes, and then I just left it alone. So I got money for it instead.
There you go. And moving on, since we had so much positive things to say about Sonic, we are going to talk about.
Sonic, I love you, but this is not what I want from you. But go ahead, sorry.
And more things that we don't want is Sonic and All-Stars Racing trans.
No, this game has the dude from fucking Skies of Arcadia in. I'm gonna play it. I'm
Can
gonna
I
play
please
it just
start
for that.
now?
Yeah, it's definitely it's the sequel to Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. This game's removing the Sega part of the name, which I thought was pretty interesting. I think I probably won't, but I think maybe that opens it up for maybe some third-party characters. Do you guys think that could be a possibility since they are calling it Sonic and All-Stars Racing instead of Sonic and Sega All-Stars?
It
I
could be
think,
a possibility, but go ahead,
in my
Jake.
personal opinion, they just forgot that it had Sega in it the first time. They just completely forgot its name. It's just like, remember that racing game we made? We should make another one. What was it called again? Sonic and All Stars Racing? There, we'll just fucking add some bullshit subtitle to the end. Let's get that on the streets.
Yeah, and the big gimmick for this one is that it's revolutionizing the genre with
Can I
the kart racing genre with
can
being
I please?
able to fly and go into the sea. Haven't seen that one before.
Flying and going into the sea. I'm sure I've seen that somewhere before recently.
This
It didn't.
there's actually a very interesting backstory behind that IGN got in an interview with the developers. Quote unquote, and I mean super quote unquote, because I really do not believe this, but the developers behind the game said that they actually had this concept of them having certain sections of flight and certain sections of going in the water before Mario Kart 7 was even announced. And when they actually saw the first gameplay trailer for it, they were quote unquote absolutely horrified at what they were watching. I read that and I don't, me personally, I'm calling bullshit on that. I don't
Pixar, it
believe
didn't happen.
um
Pixar,
I'm
it didn't happen.
I'm sorry, but after the release of Crash Tag Team Racing last generation, totally ripping off Mario Kart Double Dash, I just no, I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. And I think that's funny that they would try to pull a stunt like that and say, "Oh, we had the idea before them."
That that
No,
reminds that
the
reminds me of
mechanic.
Sony saying that they were working on the PlayStation Move in 2002, and that Nintendo copied their idea for the
Oh,
Wiimote.
that was pretty funny. Yeah, after when the Wiimote was announced, they pretty much tried to copy it with the 6-axis, and then continued to bash it, saying it was the most stupidest, useless thing.
Oh, 6-axis controls.
Oh, Sony, you so silly.
So, yeah, there's some new characters in this one, which I'm sure you all are just excited to play, aren't you?
I'm excited to play as Vice.
I heard Vector Man might be in there. If Vector Man's in there, hell yeah,
Yeah,
count me in.
2 are rumored. They haven't been shown in gameplay, but it's been reported that Rystar and Vector Man are both in it. And then seen in gameplay, the new characters are Vice from Skies at Arcadia, and I'm gonna butcher this name, from Golden Axe. It's Gilius Thunderhead. So, and there's also a Panzer Dragoon level that looks awesome.
I'm just gonna play as Vice and Eggman. That's all I'm gonna play as. Because Vice is a badass. He's a fucking sky pirate. He's a pirate of the sky. Who doesn't want to play as a motherfucker like that? And Eggman's car has his face on it. If there's one thing I like about Sonic, it's fucking Eggman.
Really?
I really hope they change the items in this game, because they were just shit in the first game.
I feel like they were okay, but I feel like their inspiration was pretty lackluster. Could have been a lot better.
Well, the only version of Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing I played is the iPod version.
How was that?
It was alright. It's what you expect from an iPod racing game.
So not much?
Basically, yeah. No, it's fucking moving your thumb with one hand and then moving your other thumb to accelerate. That's basically it.
Because me personally, I thoroughly enjoyed the PlayStation 3 version of the game. I feel like the track designs were really good. Music selection was really nice as well with the remixes they had. Character selection was so oversaturated with Sonic characters, but that's never anything new. But I'm looking at the track designs at the new one from what they've shown so far in the trailer. They look bland thus far, which is actually kind of sad, because for those of you who've played the original Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, you remember the pinball stages were some of the craziest and most varied stages I've ever played in a racing game before. And I really hope that kind of stage design element decides to show up in the new one.
But Panzer Dragoon stage. Shut
up. What the fuck is Panzer Dragoon? You keep
just as long as there's dragons flying around eating people, I'm good.
Panzer Dragoon was like a rail shooter game that that Sega makes.
Isn't it pretty much like Star Fox with a dragon?
In fact,
much.
I'm looking at the page for Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, and you didn't use your thumb to move it. It was fucking motion controlled.
Oh boy.
Dodgier.
Panzer Dragoon was on the Sega Saturn, PC, and PS2, and then it had a sequel, and that was called Panzer Dragoon Orta for the Xbox. So, good shit, Panzer Dragoon. Check it out if you haven't played it.
It sounds like a Mega Man X villain.
Oh wow, they had a Game Gear
It does actually.
Panzer Dragoon.
Dragoon Man.
I'm pretty sure there's a Mega Man X villain called Panzer Dragoon.
So, any other thoughts on the old Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, Julian?
I really hate the name.
But they're transforming.
It's when I hear transformed, I'm expecting them to turn into robots at one point.
Optimus Prime is going to be playable.
Honestly, that's what I expect. It's a terrible name that I feel like should be changed to something else. The concept itself looks interesting. One thing I do want to say, we didn't really expand upon the whole going into the water and flying. The flying is literally flying. It's not gliding like in Mario Kart. So that could be used to do pretty cool things, as well as the quote-unquote water part. You're just a motorboat. They did say that physics are playing a huge part in the game. They actually seem to knock Mario Kart with that. They're like, yeah, we actually use quote-unquote real physics. So waves can affect where you're going when you're in the water on your little motorboat looking thing.
Well, are they trying to make a kart racer more realistic? Is that what they're
Yes.
saying? They're like,
They
yeah, Mario Kart's not
they
more
said it.
realistic
They
enough.
said it's supposed to handle like a kart racing game, but it's supposed to have more weight to it. I don't understand what
That's
that means.
another. Going back to Sonic, another thing I wanted to bring up. When they make Sonic realistic, it goes to shit. Realistic,
I
realistic Sonic is like trying to. Uh, I don't know. I can't even think of a good
or
comparison. It's just shit.
So yeah, the game is for the PS3, the 360, the 3DS, the Vita, and there's rumors that a PC and a Wii U version are in the works. And it's gonna have 27 characters, which is quite a lot.
it's supposed to have 16 tracks, which is very underwhelming as well.
I can deal with 16 tracks as long as they're good because that's what Mario Kart's been having. Oh wait, they've been having 32. Never mind.
Yeah, my expectations have actually gone a bit higher.
Yeah, if just 16, well, if they're good, I can do 16 quality tracks, but it just depends on that. Because like a racing game can have like 8 tracks, and if they're all like very good, like a Wipeout game, like Wipeout 2048, how many tracks did that have? Like 10,
Well,
8,
12.
12? Yeah, it seems I didn't really say, oh, I want some more tracks because they were all quality tracks. So as long as they do quality tracks, I won't complain about 16. It's always nice to
For
have
me,
more, but
it's not really the quality tracks. It's more along the lines of do they know what they're what we can do on those tracks. And like you know how Wipeout, there's literally like 6 different modes to do on each track. You have like zones, time attack, battle, basic,
yeah.
racing, and all that stuff. I just feel like in a game like Sonic and Sega, or excuse me, Sonic AllStars Racing, it's not going to have that kind of variety. So it's just gonna be like time trial and like basic race. So
Yeah,
that's just
I'm really.
my
Oh man, I'm not looking excited for these items. They said that the items are apparently inspired by the Looney Tunes Acme weaponry, and the homing missile will be a little remote control sonic car complete with transformations. The shield will be a catcher's mitt that will capture incoming and allow the player to use the weapons. This just sounds like shit.
Is there going to be a Wile E. Coyote item? Oh, that'll be fun.
I can only hope.
Just
And so
Wile E. Coyote runs across the fucking track and commits suicide against someone.
there's going to be a single player adventure mode inspired by games like Super Mario Galaxy. Oh my god.
wait.
I'm not even making
What
this
was
up. This is from
that?
Eurogamer. The 27 characters will be unlocked in a single player adventure mode, apparently inspired by games like Super Mario Galaxy. This is a quote from Eurogamer. There's a feeling of
Oh.
starting at one place and unlocking characters, rescuing them as you progress through the game in different game modes. I thought the original game was a fantastic driving experience, but maybe it lacked a little bit in meta game type stuff, progression and things like that. You don't need meta game stuff in a racer.
I
Oh.
don't know. Crash Tag Team Racing, was it? What was the fucking PS2? You know, that generation one.
Yeah, well, there's two
Uh,
of them. There's Crash Nitro Kart, which was shit. And then
But
there's
the other
Tag Team
one,
Racing.
the Tag Team Racing, I kind of like that story mode sort of thing. It wasn't really story mode; it was like a adventure mode. I like.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot actually.
It was kind of like the old Crash games, like Twin Sanity old Crash games. In
Oh gosh, those were the good times.
and you get to run around and you buy cars and you unlock costumes, and it still had the driving because you had like the driving levels, and then it had a hub world, and I like that.
Sonic Adventure Racing. Ooh.
Oh no! Well, Sonic Adventure 2 had the fucking mini kart minigame. Remember that?
Oh
Where
gosh, that was horrible.
Rouge's car looked like a giant dick. Seriously, it did. Sonic Adventure 2.
I seriously think this game is just. I don't know what they're going for. It's like they're just putting. I don't. The items just sound terrible. Like, Why aren't they like Sega inspired instead of they're looking to Looney Tunes for inspiration? Seriously?
Like, Sega don't understand anything nowadays. It's just like, you know what? That worked for Mario. Let's do that. Looney Tunes has sold quite a lot. Let's copy that. Mario
How
Galaxy
about
sold quite a few copies. Holy shit, we'll copy that.
how about they just give me another goddamn Billy Hatcher game already?
Thank
Oh,
you. Man, this game, and now the characters can be leveled up via XP earned in races. XP can be earned by filling the All-Star gauge, which also allows racers to activate their All-Star move. With each level, players unlock stickers, achievements, and vehicle mods, which can
right.
alter a vehicle's handling.
So what I'm hearing is it has Brawl's bullshit upgrade system. It has
Stickers.
it has fucking RPG leveling up. It has Super Mario Galaxy-esque platforming. It has Looney Tunes items and Sonic/Sega characters. Why don't they just... Have they just bought a video game blender?
Yeah, all are like good ideas in their own right. Yeah, I don't see them really like going into each other very well and meshing.
This is going to be absolute shit. I'm calling it now.
But the good news is there is a Jet Set Radio level, so
What
yeah.
do you fucking do? It's going to be a shit game. If you buy it, you are helping... if you buy it, you're helping a bad company.
Pretty much. Oh man, I just can't get over it.
Let's just
This
move on.
game.
I don't want to talk about this game anymore.
And moving on, we wanted to talk about Rayman Legends, which recently leaked a trailer, and it looks fantastic. I was a big fan of Rayman Origins, one of the best 2D platformers in a long time. You know, that's
Totally
what
agree.
It's like Sonic shit. Just play Rayman Origins, and it's sad because episode 2 is gonna sell like episode 1 and 2 probably sold more than Rayman Origins. And that's sad because Rayman Origins was better than I'll say it any Sonic title. So yeah,
Hands
I love
down. Like
Rayman Origins.
Rayman Origins, when I first played the demo to it, it was so refreshing. It pretty much captured what the 2D platforming genre was all about. It was fun. It was creative. It just reeked of just the style of Rayman, which is just silly and funny. It didn't try to be serious. It was all over the place. Graphics were beautiful. Everything, they took advantage of next generation technology. The art style was incredible, and just it was it just for me was the perfect 2D platformer for today's standards. The only issue a lot of people seem to have with it that caused, unfortunately, Sonic to sell more than it was the $60 price tag, which a lot of the hardcore quote-unquote console kiddies were thinking, oh no, that is not worth $60. It's some shitty-looking 2D platformer that should be on the PlayStation Network and blah blah blah. I totally disagree with that. The game is very long, has a lot of replayability, and it never gets repetitive because it's always adding new stuff to the stages. Just every stage is this evolving set of new moves, new characters, items, areas. It's just a blast to play through.
Yeah, people are just they don't know what they just think everything's way too expensive, and they'd rather buy a $15 shitty Sonic game than a $60 great game. Because they're all like, oh, I can buy a shitty game on my iPod Touch for $1. I'm not paying $6 for something on a Nintendo 3DS eShop. Come on, man, that's a ripoff. No, it's not because like I wonder how much like the developers make off $1 iPhone game. They might make what, like 30 cents, 40 cents tops.
I know, right?
You really think you're really supporting the devs by that? Like $1 games are not going to help the industry at all. And I don't know why people think it is because it's not. Because you have to sell a ridiculous number. You have to be like an Angry Birds level of success to make any money with that. So,
Rayman Origins sold 50,000 copies in its first month in the US. I'm trying to
yeah,
find Sonic 4 numbers now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they'll have that since it was downloadable. They might, but yeah, I mean, it didn't sell well, but it apparently sold. They did say it became profitable. The positive word of mouth eventually had it sell a lot better. Plus, it got dirt cheap. It was
Yeah,
like
because
$20 for the 360 and PS3 versions,
Sonic Generations did that as well. After like the first month, it went down in price really quickly.
which is probably good because Sonic Generations it was fun for like a day.
Yeah, cause I bought Sonic Generations before, Sonic. I was gonna say Sonic Rayman. Rayman Origins came along. When I played the Rayman Origins demo, I was actually broke at that time, and I literally looked at Sonic Generations in rage and said, I should have just waited for this. So
I should have waited.
Sonic Generations literally was only good for 3 days. It was fun while it lasted, and when I mean while it lasted, savor every second you can, because that game will be over before you know it. It has a
And
pathetic. Go ahead, Tyler.
one of the big problems with Generations is that it starts off so good at the beginning, and then it just gets progressively worse because the level design just gets worse and worse because the original stages from the early games are like so much better than the shitty ones from the later games. And it's just backwards ass game design. I mean, I know
It's
they wanted to go chronologically, but you don't want to start off with the best content at the beginning and then go to the worst.
it got bad for me after the perfect chaos fight. That perfect chaos fight was amazing.
It had its moments, but I mean, I don't think it really saved the game as a whole. It was
Oh
all
no, I'm
right.
not saying it did. I'm just saying after you get past the chaos, the perfect chaos fight is when it just dies for me personally.
Yeah, definitely. I
But
mean,
I haven't played any of the modern games, so I don't have any connection to them. So it's just like okay, it's a level. I mean, I have connection to Sonic 06, but not in a good way. Never in a good.
I don't think anybody has a connection to that in a good way.
Oh, there are fans of that game on the internet.
Poor people. Have you played Rayman Origins, Nathan?
I've played the demo a bit. I've never really been a big fan of Rayman as a series, so it's not something that was really on my radar.
Yeah. So Rayman Legends, the trailer leaked, and it really looks pretty cool. It definitely has a different visual look from the first. It's still a 2D game, but it has like some more shaders, and so like it's more dynamic in its visual look. It looks really good. And the big thing that really got the internet abuzz was the Wii U implementation. And the most interesting part was the near field communication aspect, which is pretty much like Skylanders, where you can put like a figure onto the Wii U tablet and it'll interact with the game. Like for example, they shared a like a little heart figure, and that gave it health. But these weren't the actual figures that if it does have this in the full game because this was like a mock-up video.
Yeah,
This wasn't really because they shared like all these figures that had been released years ago. So obviously those aren't gonna work. They have to have a chip in them. But
yeah.
they also shared at the end they teased Ezio from Assassin's Creed because the guy was just looking at Ezio and he's like, oh, I'm gonna put him in there. And so it's definitely really cool. Just think of Skylanders if I'm not painting a good visual representation of this. So it's pretty much like Skylanders where you can put stuff in it. I'm pretty excited for near field communication because could you imagine Pokemon with that, Nathan?
That
Could you
would be
imagine like
that would. Well, Pokemon have had figures before, so you know, and those figures were pretty cool. I remember having like three of them. I had like a Marie, and they looked badass.
yeah, I mean I definitely don't mind buying like little toys as long as they look cool.
My problem with Skylanders is that they hoard out Sonic for it. Not Sonic, Spyro for it.
We're just anything negative we're just adding Sonic into it.
But we've been talking about Sonic so much, it's got caught on my tongue. But they hoard out
Skylanders.
Spyro for it, and Spyro is like my childhood. And just the idea of whoring out Spyro made me sad inside. So I
It's
refused to
actually a
go.
good game.
I refused to go near the game simply because they hoard out Spyro. I mean,
Yeah,
Spyro is basically a whore now, but they've hoard out a whore, and you can't whore out a whore.
Horseception. But yeah, like it's actually a decent game. I just wish they didn't attach Spyro with it. I wish they should have just went with an original IP.
Yeah,
But I mean, apparently it did good for them. It's getting amazing sales. So
yeah, because of Spyro. I bet it wouldn't have got as many sales if Spyro wasn't connected.
yeah, I think that got people initially into it, and then I think the big reason for the sales is that A, the game's good, and B, there's little figures are selling like crazy. So you
I
know,
also don't like the idea of having to pay extra for the game, like for the full experience sort of thing.
yeah, it kind of sucks. But I mean, if somebody's going to do this right with the near field communication, you gotta imagine it's going to be Nintendo. You have to imagine like they wouldn't really whore out like Pokemon if it use it. Do you think? I mean, they
Probably
would know
not.
how to do it with moderation.
I I just feel like with the whole take on the whole figures thing, they should really give us the option of whether we want it just to be downloadable or if we actually want to go out and buy a figure. I just refuse to have hundreds of these little figures going around, and they're actually quite expensive if you're able to find them anywhere. Because they're actually pretty rare. Apparently, people keep hoarding them and selling them on eBay. I just think the concept is interesting, but for someone my age, it's stupid. Because if I just want to buy more content, I just want to download it. I don't want to have to use some separate peripheral just to get that bit of content into the game. But
Well,
that's
but
just me personally.
the good thing about the Wii U is you won't need a special peripheral. It'll just be the tablet.
But
Yeah,
I
but
still
he's not
need
on
the figure
about.
though. I don't.
Yeah, he's on about the figures, not the stand for the figures.
The portal power. Well,
It's
I don't
just
know. I
I
like.
just me personally. I think the concept is just stupid. The figures themselves are very bulky. I don't know. It's cool for a collectible, but I would not take that seriously as a downloadable content tool. I can't.
Did did for the trailer of Legends? What were your thoughts on that, Julian?
I was actually the whole way through it. I just sat there wide-eyed, thinking yes, yes. And when I saw that, I was like, no, no, no. What is this? Why? Ew, no, I hate the concept of that. I honestly really do. Me personally, I think Skylanders looks like a fun game, but I refuse to get it for the sole reason that I have to use these stupid toys connected to it just to play as a character. And just looking at this, I hope it doesn't have anything similar to that because, like I said before, I would rather have it downloaded onto my hard drive and ready to go whenever rather than just me having to pick out little toys to play a character or something from it. I just think that's just unnecessary.
Yeah, we're definitely on different ends of the spectrum there. I'm really excited about near field communication. That was my favorite part of the trailer. I thought it was really
Well,
cool.
Tyler, you are basically a giant 5-year-old, so you know.
You're a
Well,
man
more
child.
pretty much. But I'm
Me
really
personally,
excited about it.
it just doesn't come down to the fact that I think it's childish or anything like that because I really don't. It's just bulky to me. I hate the concept of it. Like I said, they should just give us the option of downloading it for those of us who don't want to go out there and fight the hordes of eBay whores or literally like for Skylanders, Toys R Us is like the prime place to get those toys. I am not going to go to a Toys R Us to pick up extra content for a fucking game. No,
I
that's
get a
stupid.
Toys R Us quite often for games.
That's what I
I'm
was.
sure you do.
That's
I'm
what I
sure
was
you do.
laughing at. If you
That's
Hey,
why
stopped
that's
you shaved.
laughing.
Hey, that's why you shaved your beard because you were looking suspicious.
hey, that's where I got Nana Assault for $8. That's where I
True.
got.
That's actually where I got my PS3 from. Actually,
Okay, I will
I
defend Toys R Us because they have some of the best gaming deals
I haven't
anywhere.
been to a Toys R Us in 10 years. Just saying.
I remember when I was a
Ah,
little kid and I would go there. They had the best Lego section. Before I moved to Florida, and there's like this whole Lego store in downtown Disney, which is heaven for any Lego fan. But it's just
okay, so we definitely have some differing viewpoints here, and we're gonna move on to a different game. And we are talking about the one, the only Super Smash Brothers Sony.
Yeah,
I
Super
mean,
Smash
play.
you mean.
Super Smash Brothers Station. Get it right.
PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, which, as I suggested, is pretty much a clone of Super Smash Brothers, and it's a game.
That it is. It is a game, and it has a stupid fucking name.
The name's terrible. The
Yes,
rumor was that. Go on.
Oh, the name is extremely tacky. I feel like they tried really hard to make it sound cool.
Yeah, because it was originally called Title Fight, which
I like that better.
Yeah, I like it better too, mainly because it doesn't take like 16 syllables for me to say. You know, PlayStation All-Stars
I've
Battle Royale.
forgotten the actual title already.
That sounds like it would be the name to Sega's answer to Smash Brothers. Sonic and All-Stars Battle Royale.
I forgot the title already.
Syllables. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
I'll have forgotten that in about 5 minutes.
That's one more than Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. I think that's why they took Sega out, because that would have been 11 syllables, and that's way too long of a name. So we got PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. It has 6 confirmed characters so far. It has Sly Cooper, has the bad guy from Resistance. I don't know his name. Has
Radic or some shit like that.
Yeah, it has Sweet Tooth from the Twisted Metal series. It has Fat Princess. Who else does it? Oh, Kratos.
I would so play as Fat Princess.
And then there's one more that I'm forgetting.
Parappa the Rapper?
Parappa, oh my god, my favorite character. Parappa the Rapper, yes. So those are the 6 confirmed characters so far. There were 4 stages. Each stage is like a mashup between 2 Sony like brands. We have Little Big Planet and Buzz. They have Hot Shots Golf and Jak and Daxter. They have Ratchet and Clank and God of War, and then they have Patapon and God of War. And I'll say this, the levels look pretty cool, I thought. And like the Hot Shots Golf one and Jak and Daxter, you're pretty much playing on like a Jak and Daxter type island, but there's like a golfing range in the background, and you'll see like a little meter, like a Hot Shots Golf meter. And after that clicks, a bunch of golf balls will come flying from the air. It's pretty hilarious, actually. So I'm very mixed about it, because one, it's a blatant copy, and I just don't think they're gonna get it like right. I don't think they're gonna have the Nintendo like polish on this game. It's by like a relatively, not really a big studio, so I'm kind of graphically it looks gorgeous. So I mean, it's definitely on my watch list, and I hope it's good, but I really don't think it's gonna live up to like a Smash Brothers type game. Julian, what's your thoughts on this?
I totally agree. And games I'll use as examples is that fell pretty much flat on their face and trying to go off the Smash Brothers vibe is Beautiful Joe, Red Hot Rumble back in like the GameCube generation. I know some of the recent ones, Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion, the fighting minigame in Super Monkey Ball 3D, and the Japanese.
That was so bad. That was terrible.
I played it for like 5 seconds. I was like, dear Jesus, get me out of this. It was horrible. And then there was the Japanese exclusive Jump Ultimate Stars, which was interesting in concept. I hated the execution. A lot of people liked it, but to me, it was just the biggest clusterfuck of randomness. I couldn't do it.
That's the point of that sort of shit, though, like anime and manga. It's supposed to be just a clusterfuck of randomness.
It was,
I mean, it's
to
fucking
me,
Japanese. What are you expecting?
Hey, did you ever play Tales of Versus? That's what I was expecting. A game that was actually...
I play Tales of Versus.
Really? I'm surprised. But yeah, that was a legit, slightly Super Smash Brothers inspired game. But anyways, back to PlayStation All-Stars.
Yeah, I mean, adding on, like, there are ways to do, like, a mashup game without it being a copy of Smash Brothers. Look at, like, Final Fantasy Dissidia. You know, there's proper ways to do these that aren't just Smash Brothers.
I totally agree. But yeah, back to, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. When I first found out there was a trailer for it, I was actually really excited to see. This is gonna sound probably gonna make a lot of you laugh, but to see how Sony could innovate in the beat 'em up genre. And when I first saw the first piece of gameplay footage, I paused and I just stared at it, and I did not know how to react. I literally felt like I was watching a reskinned Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
It does. That's exactly what it looks like.
It's like it's you feel embarrassed for the developers because anyone who says this looks even slightly original, it's you clearly are just blind because I could not do it. I did my brain could not find the words to explain what it was I was watching. The character names are player names are exactly where they are.
Yeah, the presentation is straight up ripped off.
The UI, it just so ripped off. The stages, the way they look, just flat out ripped off. It's just
they are like closed stages. They're not open like in Smash Brothers.
And just the way that the character presentations on how their attacks look, straight up Smash Brothers. Like, no doubt about it. Everything is just a reskinned Smash Brothers. And I'm gonna play the game when it comes out. It's more power to them. Another Smash Brothers type game. Hopefully it comes out good. But as it's been said before, and as I've said before, all these other games that have tried to ride on the Smash Brothers formula fail pretty terribly. It's just they seem to try so hard that they're actually they get farther away from the goal they need to accomplish. Is this, I don't know. What I don't like so far is that every level just is a clash. It's like the one that I've pointed out to a lot of people is the Patapon stage that has like this Leviathan from God of War in the foreground. And I'm just like, wait, how does that make any sense? You have just this clusterfuck of Patapons in the background and this Leviathan thing up front just roaring and moving around. What? If at least try to keep it more authentic by making each stage themed, although I think it's funny that I say this, but if they were to keep it that way, it would be even closer to Smash Brothers. So maybe they felt like they were going to be more original by just adding just random shit into each stage, and it's just a mixture of PlayStation mascots, whatever. That's the only thing that irks me right now, is the stages actually look kind of stupid. But besides that, I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. It's, to be honest, it shouldn't really surprise anyone. We all saw this coming. They were like, oh, Smash Brothers ripoff or inspired game by Sony coming along. We all should have seen that coming. So in the end, I'm not really too surprised.
Well, it's been rumored for months. Like the first time I heard about the game was November of 2011. So it's been out there if you looked into it for a while. Like they even had, I know it was exactly the same game because they had like an early version of Sweet Tooth, and it looks just like the one that is in the trailer. So, and there's a really funny picture that shows their development offices, and it has a Wii.
Yeah.
Hooked up.
If you look at the middle of like the back table, underneath one of the TV that's like off, there's a white Wii.
So yeah, they're definitely getting their inspiration. I wonder what games in there. There's probably Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Smash Up, obviously. Right?
No, it's Pokemon Channel, you fools!
I totally think it's Tatsunoko versus Capcom in there.
Totally, that's it. It's Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
I actually think like a type of fighting game like that would be better suited with Sony's characters.
Probably would be, actually.
Like I know Cole from Infamous was in Tekken versus oh my god, Street Fighter versus X Tekken, and so just moving on, what characters do you want to see in this game, Julian?
That's actually a point I wanted to hit on. I really don't know, and I actually really don't care. I feel like all the Sony mascots past the PS1 days are just so irrelevant. It's not even funny. But I would be pretty psyched to see either Spyro or Crash in there, but I doubt that all the way. Or if Kingdom Hearts is still a first party thing, I'd love to see Sora or something. But besides that, I'm actually looking at my wall of PS3 games right now, and I can't really think of anyone. Drake, I guess. I really don't care about Drake either that much. I think the only PlayStation mascot I care about is Sackboy and probably Nathan Hale from Resistance, and that's it.
Yeah, some people I want are Sackboy, as you said. I want Jack from the Jack and Daxter series. I want Drake. That would be awesome. I also want Ratchet and Clank as like a duo, because I think that would be awesome.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I'd go with Ratchet.
yeah, and Jack, maybe even Jack and Daxter as a duo as well, because those games are awesome. And I definitely want to see Crash, maybe even Spyro if they can get the money out there. But I'm not too.
I would love
sold
to
on
have
that.
those two in there.
I mean, a lot of people have been shitting on Sony's IPs and how they can't make a mascot game, but they do have a lot of cool characters. I mean,
I love Sony's games to death. I love Resistance. I love Uncharted. I love Killzone and all those kind of games. It's just, they don't have that big of an impact to literally have a game like this. I feel like Sony's kind of just boasting their own ego by saying, oh, well, we think our characters are so cool, they tried their own fighting game like Nintendo's. It's this. Actually, one more I want to add to the list as I'm thinking about, as I'm saying that, is Patapons. I would love to be able to, command a small group of Patapons to kick ass. That'd be pretty legit.
yeah, that would definitely be awesome, especially if they changed up the controls when you play Patapon and you actually had to do a song for your attacks.
That'd be freaking
That would
awesome.
be- But it's probably
And-
too complex for them. To
And
actually have.
what would actually be pretty cool, what I'm thinking about, if every character has their own very unique move style. And just like that, say Patapons, you can directly control them, but their attacks can be done by playing, the music from the actual game. It's just kind of like how Olimar and Pokemon Trainer and Brawl they handled, when you compare both of them together, very differently, different game type differently. And if every character and PlayStation All-Stars handled that way, I think it'd make it a lot more unique rather than just, typical power button, just push square if you want to do the powerful attacks, plus a direction and whatnot. If every character had its own unique move set as, standard fighting games like Soul Calibur and Mortal Kombat have, I think that really help it set it apart.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not really sure it will have that though. And instead of final smashes in Smash Brothers, they have a concept where you build up a meter and then you can unleash your special attack instead of getting an item.
Jeez, that never sounds like it was done before in any other game.
So Nathan, what's your thoughts on this game?
I just do not give a fuck.
That's probably the best way to look at it, to be honest.
I just honestly don't care.
So moving on to our next game is the only new Play Control Pikmin 2, which is finally coming out in North America.
Yay!
It's been out in Europe for I think 3 years, in Europe and Japan, so it's been a long time coming. So Julian, I know you're excited about this release.
I am, especially considering that actually a month ago I beat new Play Control Pikmin. Last time I played Pikmin, it was back when it was first released, so I never really beat it back in that day. I guess you could say I was too stupid when it first came out. But yeah, I've been pretty psyched with the whole Pikmin 3 hype for the Wii U and stuff like that. So seeing this one finally get a new Play release will actually make it worthwhile paying full price for it. I never really felt like playing full price for the GameCube release, especially since I've actually grown really attached to the controls, to the new Play Control series for the original Pikmin. So I'm really hyped, and I say bring it on.
Yeah, it looks good. I've actually never played a Pikmin title.
What?
Yeah, I've never
Well,
played any. I'm going to
just
buy a new Play Control, the original, and then I'll probably get this when it comes out, just to, because it's always been a series I've always wanted to get, but I just haven't really had the opportunity. I got into the GameCube really late, and I just didn't get it when it was first re-released. So I saw I can get it for about like 20 or $30 now. So I'll definitely get that and final experience these great games. Should I be slapped, Julian?
you should be punched.
Should I should I slap myself? That seems to be a running gag in these episodes.
Yes.
Ow!
Yes, I like the sound of that.
I actually slapped myself and it hurt. Um, so Nathan, have you already played the game?
I've played Pikmin 1, the original GameCube version, but that's about it. I'm not a big fan of Pikmin. And no, I'm not slapping myself. You can go fuck yourself.
Hey, no, I would rather you say you're not a fan of it than, oh yeah, I've never played them before.
Yeah,
That's a better answer.
I've played like the first few levels of the first one, and I'm not into that sort of game where it's full of strategy and you gotta think about where to go and you've got to plan everything out in your head. That's just too much fit work for me.
I respect that.
Oh boy! And I said that's coming out for the Wii. That's one of the 2012 first-party releases for the Wii. Not many, but that's a quality release as they ramp up for the Wii U. And to close out the episode, let's just talk about the next game we're gonna buy. Personally, the next game I'm gonna buy is Mortal Kombat for the Vita. We'll have an unboxing up on it on the site for that, so look forward to that. Julian, what's the next game you're gonna buy?
I know 100% Roller Coaster Tycoon 3D.
So you're still looking forward to that, so that's good.
Nathan, yeah.
Nathan, what game are you buying next?
Probably Mario Tennis, because I can't think of anything that comes out before that I'm interested in.
Yeah, hopefully you get your 3DS working.
I should be getting a working 3DS before Mario Tennis, hopefully.
Oh, really? That's awesome. We will definitely be playing that then. We hope you enjoyed episode 2 of the Hard Reset Show. And for Julian and Nathan, this is Tyler, and we are out.
This has been a presentation of Hard Reset, your last resort for gaming analysis.